guys, and welcome to Strawberry Ink. Today I will be discussing the latest update on a big crime case that takes place in southern Ohio, the Pike County Massacre. It remains one of Ohio's most notorious crime cases, involving the brutal murder of 8 members of a family known as the Rhoden family. The victims were killed in what appeared to be a calculated, execution-style attack on April 22, 2016. The victims were found in their homes, many of them shot while they were still in their beds, and no immediate suspects were identified. In the years that followed, the investigation remained one of the largest and most expensive in Ohio's history. For nearly 4 years, the case remained unsolved, causing widespread fear and uncertainty in this rural community. In November 2018, the case took a significant turn when authorities arrested George Wagner, whom some call Georgie, Angela Wagner, George Wagner III, who was nicknamed Billy, and Jake Wagner, all members of the Wagner family. The Wagners were charged with a range of offenses, including aggravated murder, felony murder, and conspiracy. It was alleged that the Wagners targeted the Rhoden family due to a combination of personal grievances and a long-standing feud over the custody of Jake Wagner's daughter, who had been in the custody of the Rhoden family. Jake Wagner, the mastermind behind the massacre, planned and carried out the killings with the help of his family members. Georgie Wagner, Jake's brother, was also involved in the killings. He was accused of fatally shooting the Rhoden family. Both brothers were arrested when the police in Ross County, Ohio, pulled Jake over while he was driving and identified both of them. Angela Wagner, the mother of Jake and Georgie, was accused of helping out with the planning and logistics of the murders. Then Billy Wagner, Jake and Georgie's father, also participated in the shooting. This was a big crime spree and mass execution. They killed the family members one by one. Billy and Angela were tracked down. Billy was captured in Lexington, Kentucky, and Angela in Scioto County, Ohio. All 4 members were extradited back to Pike County to face their serious charges. They at first pleaded not guilty to all charges and were ordered to remain in jail to await trial. In 2021, after several years of investigations, all 4 Wagner family members were indicted. The family was not only accused of murder, but also of covering up evidence. In the years prior, 2 members had already been accused of illegally infringing with the investigation: Angela's mother, Rita Newcomb, and Billy's mother, Frederica Wagner. They surrendered to authorities and faced misdemeanor charges, evidence tampering, obstruction, and perjury, as well as forgery. They were at first booked into the Pike County Jail, but ended up bailing out. In 2019, the charges against Frederica were dismissed due to a lack of evidence. On the other hand, Rita reached a bargain and pleaded guilty in her case. By doing so, her forgery charge was dropped, and she would face a shorter sentence. The case quickly became a media sensation, drawing attention due to the shocking nature of the crime and the involvement of an entire family. Jake Wagner's case was particularly notable because he agreed to a plea deal. He pled guilty to 8 counts of aggravated murder and other charges, including aggravated burglary and felony assault, admitting to planning and executing the killings, as well as orchestrating the entire massacre with the assistance of his family members. In exchange for this plea, Jake avoided getting the death penalty, but he was still facing life without the possibility of parole. His mother, Angela, as well reached a deal and pleaded guilty to her charges. By doing so, she was likely to not have to spend the rest of her life in prison. Only 2 people remaining in the case maintained their innocence. Later that year in 2023, Georgie was put on trial for the crimes. The jury in this trial convicted him, finding him guilty on 22 felonies. He was afterwards sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole, and taken to the Inmate Reception Center in Orient, Ohio, where he remains. On June 3rd, 2025, last Friday, the remaining family members appeared in court once again. It was time to sentence 3 of them. Tensions grew in the courtroom as family members of the victims made impact statements against them. The 3 defendants apologized in court. Rhoden Newcomb was sentenced for illegally infringing with the massacre's investigation. She received 30 days in jail, 5 years of probation, and a $750 fine, all for one of the misdemeanor crimes. The rest of the charges she faced were added onto that sentence. Rita gets credit for having served 8 days in jail, and she was given permission to take her time paying off that fine. She is currently serving her probation, and due to the 30-day jail sentence being suspended, she won't have to serve it unless she violates her probation. The next to be sentenced was Angela. She received life in prison with the possibility of parole after completing 30 years of her sentence. She gets credit for having served nearly 6 years in jail. The last one to be sentenced was Jake. He received life in prison with the possibility of parole after completing 32 years of the sentence. He as well gets nearly 6 years of jail credit. After the sentencings, Billy appeared in court ahead of his trial, which, as of now, is set for January 6, this Monday. However, things may change in the case. He is the last suspect in the family to be in a courtroom. As of now, Billy remains in the Pickaway County Jail, Angela at the Scioto County Jail, and Jake in the Gallia County Jail. Thank you for watching, and may the deceased rest in peace. Please subscribe to my channel and like this video. Have a good day, and I will see you next time.